hemorrhaging as the rounds go on, and then they're having players that are on their own trying to either hold an anchor position or a forward position. They get killed by themselves. Things like that. Are things you're going to have to address after the day is over, right? You got a game plan coming in today. It didn't quite work out the way you wanted, so you got to look at what the rest of the lobby is doing. You know, how can we take these positions that we want to take? How can we keep our solo players a little bit safer? Things like that, or do we even let solo players run around? Are we going to maybe go for more of a 2-2 kind of hold, or just more grouped up? Things like that are going to be what TE is going to have to consider going into tomorrow, but you never know. I mean, again, there's still 2 more games here. They could have one big pop-off game and feel like, you know what, our game plan was correct.
Yeah, they're not out of like touching distance at all. I mean, we still have a whole nother day of play for groups for them, so I'm not concerned or like, oh my God, why are they so bad? I know we're focused in, but it's just whenever you come out of being the PGC champion, a lot of eyes are just going to be looking at you. See, can you replicate it? Can you be able to do it? I think that the squad can. It just feels like their footing is a bit looser than it was at PGC itself, because almost it feels like whenever they feel the freest is whenever they play the best, right? Is whenever they're just going for like some sneaky backstabs and doing stuff like that.
What they did to TSM.
I mean, and we saw just a ton of cool plays like that, and it's coming. I just don't know. I just hope the fact that the lead doesn't slip too much before it does.
No, I'm right there with you. I mean, I think the Expendables are going to be fine. I mean, you got to think about also at PGC, right? It wasn't till the end of the tournament where they really picked up steam as well. Like, they were kind of there in the beginning. They were doing fine, but it came in that last, set of the group stage where they really popped off, and then they started messing around. They started having fun.
Well, they are in center of circle, and new circle has popped, and they're pretty center to it again. Na'Vi has regrouped, and it looks like they're going to be taking the northern path inside of Picado. That's going to put them kind of close to where Lil Ghost is going to be playing from. New Happy is going to be trying to regroup, and yeah, the arrow doesn't seem too crazy off, as there's a couple of opportunities for pathing in this one. This is kind of an interesting circle as we're looking on the outskirts, low ground position, Monte Nuevo, as well as still having I guess the ditches outside of Power Grid still in play, and still having the hillsides just to the east of Pozo with some vision in it. This is going to be very peculiar to see where teams go for power plays.
Absolutely. Speaking of power plays, Twisted's already made one. They've got a compound dead center of the circle, a pretty good one to boot. That one across from them in the firehouse where Bago Pie is also very, very good at times, depending on where the circle wants to go. But the Hook Mountain's still in play. Bestia's up there getting some info. Really on Twisted now, 5 different teams to get into the late game, which they have been doing pretty consistently. Ooh, some mortars available.
I see what their goal is. I see what the plan.
Are they going to be able to get into a spot where they can use them, though?
That was kind of what I was thinking as well.
You can put them behind the shack, but...
Yeah, because there's the hillside, but then you're kind of weak to the hillside.
Exactly.
Hey, look, maybe T1 will deliver some cars to him.
E-End is getting dangerously close here. This is...
Oh, he senses it. You can tell. He pulled off of that shack. He was driving straight at it and was like, nah, I don't like this at all. I think he spotted out the roof of one of the cars and was shifted away.
Yeah, that's like that veteran presence that E-End is going to bring to a team like T1. I mean, he's been around for so long now, and he just knew that driving path really, really well. And,
that's a rough like you said, to play from, though.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're correct. This is not great. And, maybe that's why you're trying to get that higher ground angle so you can find a little bit extra cover, a little bit extra safety. But now you kind of have to rely on the Expendables to not get a little bit too crazy, which, like we've been talking about, that team, you never know.
Could be. It could also just be opting to play safe, play for some placement points. They've got a position to play from for the time being. We do have an emergency pickup that was called by Na'Vi, so looks like we're going to be bypassing anything going on with 17. 17 did set up a 2-1 split to see if maybe they can catch anybody out. But looks like that's going to be the end of the hot drop finally cooling off. As spicy and fast as all of the games have been today, it's so weird that Miramar feels slow.
I know, it is. It is a little bit odd that this is the game that kind of cools off.
Miramar with a hot drop is the slowest game of the day. What?
Yeah, I know. It is a little bit strange, but I like this from Na'Vi because 17 had position on them.
Lil Ghost, I think, saw the ropes.
He did.
Looks like he's trying to maneuver in.
He's going to try. Is he going to get there in time? The helicopter about to come through. This is scary for Na'Vi.
Oh, he's got the window. He's spotted. Goes for the shots. It does get the knock onto one of them. Is the yoink going to happen? Does pop.
Oh!
Beautiful shots.
Oh, that is incredible. Little Ghost. That is disgusting. You just did Na'Vi dirty.
Lil Ghost with the big plays there with that last last jump out like, nah, you're not gonna do us like that. You're not gonna hot drop and run.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely incredible. I clap, clap, clap,
Yep.
clap. I'm clapping. I'm literally clapping. That was so good.
All right, over here to the west, we've got Genji has inside track on the compound. BB is taking some shots at them. Fury's going to be following him back behind, but not going to be enough to be too big of an issue. Fury, I think,
Where
had
did
eyes
Bagel
on
Pa
Girlfriend.
go?
Hmm?
Sorry, I was just looking at the map. Okay,
Where's Bagel
okay.
Pa?
No, I see him. Okay, okay. We're fine.
And also, here, everybody that's watching right now, say it with me. Bagel Pa. It's
Bagel
one of
Pa.
the most fun words to say. Oh, no. Oh!
What?
Souza as well. Too cool. Going to shut down Longs and God V both.
Okie dokie. Oh god, and now the grenades are coming through. Tons of damage being done. And Dragunov has a decent angle. Cold is just having his way with 4 a.m.
Cole!
Goodbye!
Boom! Just finishes them out. Clean and efficient. 6 kills for Takula.
Okay, now it's starting to pick up. Now we're
Yeah,
getting some
yeah,
fun.
okay.
This is what I like to see. Oh, Shrimsy done dirty by Vinny. Out of the shack, out in the open, and he's done and dusted. Falcons having a good day. Having a really nice day so far, to be honest. I mean, they're up there in the top 5. Would like to get some more points to really feel comfortable about getting into that grand finals, but
Yeah.
they lose a player, and that's okay. They still got
no.
3 going. Oh, please.
Patapong.
Oh,
Yeah, just cover did him dirty there, even on the explosion. With the nose of the car being the bounce point, man, you just kind of, you can't get close to it because you're afraid of how it's going to fall. T5 having a ton of bullets dropped on top.
Oh, and yeah, there go the tires. I mean, Batu stealing a point there from Genji and then harassing T5 even more. They're in a terrible position in that shack. Day trade out on the edge. A bit of ways from this fight, but starting to get involved with Bestia. In fact, they find Mime, take him down. That's on the northeastern side of the circle. Let's watch this again. This is a thing of beauty, Matt.
Just watch.
Just enjoy it. Mm.
That's never not going to make me happy.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That did cost Little Ghost, but it was worth.
Well worth.
Well worth. I mean,
That's a play of the day.
yeah, I love the guttural scream with it as well, because, man, that just feels good.
It does.
And to do it at this level, oh.
And against the team that you're hot dropping against, like
Yeah.
that, one of your biggest, rivals in this lobby.
Oh!
So good. Oh, hello.
Bestia, you in some trouble. Nade going to be landing right in front of you, blue zone as well. Now just going to be skirting right along the edge. Day trade on one side of it, and you can see that it is going to be the Falcons also trying to take into what's going to be happening. New circles popped. T1's position is pretty good off of it. Day trade.
Oh.
With my last breath, I stab at Thee, but it is going to be day trade eliminated. So first by 6 points, going to have to contend up with Takulu as well as Twisted and Falcons that are on the hunt for first by the end of the day.
The Falcons are in trouble.
Yeah.
New Happy is going right at them. They saw those knocks in the kill feed, and they want some points. They're hungry for it. Smokes are in front of it. 16 can't quite see, but H1 steps out in the open momentarily. 16 can't find the spray with the barrel. Looking for a little bit more. Some grenades to try to buy some space and time. May have worked.
At least to slow down the pacing on everything that's going over there. DraftKings actually hears these shots, and it looks like he was trying to creep forward as well. New Happy starting to commit a lot more into it, and Nerves of Steel commits in, wants to make sure that they hold. Kickstart does get the knock on the 16KK. Shots now coming out from December. Falcons get eliminated and at near on no cost, and his 16KK should be reservable.
Yeah, Kick hit a good grenade in the middle of that battle, but after that, it was all New Happy. They did a great job there. Great opportunistic play by New Happy, having the space and comfort to take that fight. Just DraftKings from Bestia in the vicinity now, looking to see if maybe he can find some more points of his own. New Happy, Inuyasha, going to get a knock onto 7-7, so they are all over this edge of the circle. It's just, is this trap that DraftKings may be setting up going to get sprung and do damage? That's the big question. D-Long.
It feels like New Happy.
Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, Takula, please, just more. I just want more.
Yeah, they're great. They are fraggers. I love to see
And they're
Hello?
riding the momentum of it too. They are absolutely feeling it whenever they get in position. Begapa also in a pretty strong spot is going to be able to spot out and do a ton of work, pick up some more kills for themselves. That's going to be much needed points. You're talking about people that were needing to try to make a bit of a climb. Begapa down there at 15th place right now. 3 kills could be the start of something good for him.
Yeah, big time. Great use of the blue zones to clear T5 out of that shack. Probably just layered a couple of them on top of the shack and you're just done. I mean, there's nothing you can do in a position like that. Z-Long thinking about a blue zone of his own. BB team with these absolute stunners that are Taikala. Oh my god, oh my god!
Oh! Taikula, no fear, runs right next to the smoke zone one side of it, and they are just absolutely unleashing hell on this lobby.
Dude, that was nasty. They strike so fast too. They're so well coordinated. Taikula doing a great job. There is some damage being done by the Expendables. Clory's barely able to best 16 there. Inuyasha thinking about the grenade up and over in towards them. Oh, it's right next to him, but doesn't get the knock. He follows up with the spray.
Inuyasha steps in yet again after getting a knock. Has to be very, very careful around these angles. Keep in mind, BB can't really get into a third party. They've been caught up in what's going to be going on with Taikula. Nobody else has real vision on this one. Twist is taking a couple of potential shots at range. Looks like they might be flanking it back behind it. New Happy!
Oh!
Inuyasha steps in and finishes it all off.
Oh,
10
man.
kills for New Happy.
He's got 7 for himself, does Inuyasha. Living up to his namesake there. Just absolutely destroying teams. Spaceman. Oh, it's over.
Do it. Just do it to him.
I mean, the back and forth, the trading there. Spaceman knows he has backup, can go for the spray, doesn't quite get it to connect enough. Teammates are there to follow up. Gen G getting destroyed. They have 2 players left.
And Taikula is now in first. So,
Woo!
can they continue to ride the successes? Twisted now going to be making a move up in the north. They're going to have to deal with Inuyasha, who's a beast in and of himself so far today. Begapaw also needs to make a shift in, but Twisted's got vision on him. These two teams are both striving to try to find a point. T1 still alive in positions that they were playing beforehand. Ian is going to have some very close friends. And going to see if he wants to get too involved or not. Their other members for T1 can't really do too much because they got Fury up on top of them.
Twisted have to now make a move. The safety of that compound no longer theirs, but they've got 1 kill. They've got some placement points, at least 1. Probably more than that, you would think. And Bagelpot going to be their opponents yet again. Just like we saw in Erangel, these 2 teams seem to meet. And that smoke just going to give Park Pro enough ability to get back to safety temporarily. So you do have T1 here as well, so a couple Korean teams now going to be trying to gatekeep Twisted Minds. Looking for the grenade, sensing that there might be a player behind that rock, and he's right. Two Heart is there. It's just whether he can get the bounce. Doesn't quite do it. So, Twisted Minds, slow but steady march forward. They've got some vehicles to work with too. Let's see how they want to approach this fight. Are they just going to wait it out? Yeah, they're going to be patient. They like to ride the edge of the blue as long as they can.
Songjung's now having to start running forward. Blue zone back behind him, just trying to use trees as a sightline break against Twisted in their positioning. Surviving for the time being, but not a lot of options other than that. Trying to regroup. They at least have a foothold of some foot. Like 1 foot. I can't even really say a foothold. They have like they have like a toe hold in the circle right now. It's Inuyasha. Oh no, blue zone nade right on top of him. Nade on the other side of it. No options. Double blue zone. He's just going to run out, and looks like he's going to run to the cover of the car. Is going to survive. Takula is going to spot this out, and these guys are sharks. They are just going to throw the nade in. How's it going to bounce? Get some damage in. Oh, where's he going to go? There are no options. He's finally going to go down. Takula going to pick up another one.
Well, Twisted, kind of some mutually assured destruction with them and Bagelpaw, but each team losing 1 respectively. Back off from that fight and try to take another one with the knock onto Taikula. Perfectix looking to end this great round, but wisely they're picking up their teammate and trying to get him to safety to get the res, and it looks like maybe they got Spaceman there, but Perfectix right on top of him.
Woo!
Couple quick headshots, and that's cold down, and Taikula, as great as this game was, it may be coming to an end.
Finally having to calm down. They still have 1 member in Don down to the south. He was trying to keep an eye on what was going on with that whole Furious situation. So, had no real way to come up and support. Twisted just pushed that clean, fast, efficiently. Now eyes back over to Begapaw because they know where the threat is, figuring that after hearing that firefight, maybe Begapaw would try to creep forward. Everybody's out in the open. Lou just can't quite hit the shots that he wants to get out of that, and that is going to allow Begapaw some breathing room. They got a knock. Begapaw did on to Ian, so seeing if they can use the space. Now more of them are starting to line in, but it's going to be Haven at range. It gets a knock onto Example. That's going to be from entirely across the circle.
Yeah, I mean, Lou really would like to have those shots back. He had a couple potential knocks underneath him. Type doesn't get hit by that grenade. It goes a bit too far. Haven starting to come alive now. Has a P92 raining right underneath him. Finally gets the spray to go. And Haven starting to do some real damage here. Furia needs these points.
And they're in a great position to get them. Can they get the kills now that they finally got the position to play from? They still have to deal with Twisted up on that high ground, making it a lot more complicated. Lou is going to get the shots on Haven, get the knock onto him. Now Fury in a little bit more trouble. They still also have Dons from Takula that is alive, going to be just over to the east of this type, still clinging to life, as well as a Khan for Begapa has kind of stalled out the center of the circle. It's Twisted on one side to the northeast and Furia down to the southwest, and they can't meet in the middle just due to how entrenched these solos are.
Yeah, you got Type and a Con solo players left just up on this northern side, underneath the hillsides, trying to hang on, trying to keep the other teams around them from getting angles. So far, so good. The real question here is, can Don do any more damage? Does he have any more frags in the bag? If he had some, I think he could have a great opportunity to let loose, but...
So Twisted just 4 points behind Takula for the day so far. And we've got their solo still lined up right next to the other members for Twisted, but it's Twisted. You have to have expectations for this team. Furia looks like they're managing to get a reset, using that just a bit of a lip for cover. Can't quite get the way that they want. Every single time they kind of go for a peek up, it's just going to be shots coming right back over at them. Just having to watch Haven slowly bleed out. Gizero wants it so bad, but you can see backpacks, can even see a little bit of spike sticking out from it. Is he going to be able to get it? No, Gizera is going to go down, and try as he might, cannot find it. That's also going to be Type going down. That buys a lot more space. We are in a technical 3v1v1v1, because really Furia can't get those reses.
Yeah, I mean, Twisted again, able to find the right times to change battles, to keep themselves alive, to keep themselves very much in this game, and they've been able to weather the storm, whereas all these other teams kind of ripping each other to shreds. They have found safety up on the top of the hillside to the east. Now Don wants to find a different angle for himself. Those knocks over there are certainly going to be in the back of his mind, knowing that they're going to be somewhere in this vicinity, and maybe he can scoop up some more points for himself, keep this great game for Taikula going.
But who's the solo up for Furia? Of course it is Posa. And that's going to be an issue of itself. But Taikula has been absolutely ripping apart squads. Don, you have an opportunity to at least buy yourself a couple of more placement points, get a kill out of it, but instead he keeps leaning back into Twisted. Akan, Begapa still alive, still just clinging to the hills, and nobody from Twisted can really get clean sight lines down onto that just yet. Most notably doing the fact that they know that Furia still has a member up, and they're a bit nervous on that angle and over-peaking it.
Absolutely. Khan just chilling, just trying to stay alive as long as he can, but the blue not going to be kind to him.
If he peeks around, Perfectix is just totally in the open. He's going to be using that rock for cover. Is he going to go after the first, or is he going to see if anybody else comes down after it? Posa has been spotted, a couple of shots in. That means Perfectix is beat it in. He's trying to line in for this one. Akan just letting him go. Perfectix, are you going to turn around? Are you going to spot out Akan?
Got to be careful. If he waits too long, there's a chance that someone just happens to look behind and see him.
Is it bait, though? That's what he's worried about.
I mean, this is so dangerous now.
He's spotting out everybody. He knows.
Oh, my God.
Look at the focus on his face. He knows. He spotted out. He knows the numbers. He knows he has the opportunity. If we see Perfectix start going after Posa or Dons, there you go. Shots now starting to come out. Akan's starting to creep forward. He has the most information out of all of the solos, but it's Twisted Mind. He goes up for one, gets the second one. Can he spin it back around? No! It's going to be Perfectix that takes him down, but the damage is done. Perfectix is by himself, goes for the shots after Don, does manage to go with this. Posa survives. Now down to a 1v1.
Oh, and he just got some level 3 gear. This is going to be way more difficult. He got the headshot. He's got the win.
Posa stakes it away at the end off of the hero play. Coming out from Akan. Begapa Furia tag teaming up against what is going to be one of the strongest teams in Twisted Minds.
I mean, nothing you can do as Twisted Minds but laugh that one off. That was a bizarre endgame, and one unchecked angle cost you. Akan probably feeling pretty good, but would have probably liked to have gotten a few more.
So close, man. He almost flipped that all back on. Well, I mean, he did flip it, but he almost manages. He could have potentially walked away with the victory if he got that last of shots.
He opened the door.
How dare you only kill 2 instead of 3 by yourself?
He was almost there. Almost there.
Okay, I mean, well, that's just today, dude. I'm loving what's been going on in PGS 7 so far. So let's go ahead. I know we've got our analysts chomping at the bit.
XLR with me, I'll be using my explicit button right now. What was that? Okay. Let's start with Furia first. They get themselves the victory. I mean, looking at how things were going to play out in the very end of this game, it was getting a little bit harder to call than some other games, right? But Furia coming in from the low ground, as 3, eventually shutting down the rotation across that road, very important. And then, I mean, all hell breaks loose at the end.
And then, you know, you think, oh, this might be the end of it for Furia because Twisted Minds has got a good high ground position. They were spreading out very nicely.
Yeah.
The side slide by Begopa as they were hungry, they were ready to eat, and they fed on them. That double tap up on top of the hill was a beautiful spray, and it cost them everything. You can see Pozo was so excited because he realized all I have now is a 1v1 to worry about.
Yes.
And there was a moment where I thought they were going to pull it off, Twisted Minds, but it just... The gut shot of having 3 drop down to 1 like that is hard to come back from because you're turning around going, what just happened?
Yeah. Of all the Snake players, the camera was spectacular in the spray control and then getting the 2 knocks. I do question, I mean, maybe he realized that they'd seen him and then he had to just take the shots anyway. But if you don't, you should always be kind of playing for placement in that situation. I feel, personally. But, I mean, regardless, look what he did to them. He tore Twisted Minds' opportunity apart here.
Absolutely ripped them up. And in his own way, you know, he helped Furia win, but Furia also made sure that they got 2 points because he got those double knocks. They were able to confirm that and make sure that those go down. So it was a sort of a nice little working together moment, I guess, as Twisted Minds, who we talked about going into the break. Twisted Minds have been playing kill heavy. They're waiting for their circle. They're waiting for their win. This was it, and it got stolen.
Did indeed, but they get to yet another late game. And after already getting to well, not necessarily plenty of late games, but getting a lot of kills in the previous game, and then on Rondo getting into that late game, Twisted Minds is going to be looking very strong towards the top of those tables. But Furia, big points for them. 10 kills on the board, 1,500 damage goes their way. But Twisted Minds, 2003.
Right. Twisted Minds will continue that rise up. We got TKL with another big second place for them, so they will manage to stay on that top 4 position off of this. New Happy, who's also been putting up a ton of points all day, is going to get another 10 kill out of that. Furia is the one team that was sort of on the bottom of the bracket coming into this. I think they only had about 26 points, so this is going to be a huge glow up for them. Probably moving to the top 8, which is a big deal for them going into day 2.
Yeah, the 2 and 4, New Happy and Tikula, getting themselves even more consistency here makes me even more excited for tomorrow for Petrichor Road, but maybe we're putting way too much emphasis on them.
But I mean, okay, we'll talk about Furia in a second because we're talking a lot about Petrichor Road, but we said we were focusing on them because we're saying, well, their region felt really weak. But their region doesn't look very weak right now. The other teams that made it in are very strong. So Petrichor could be incredibly off the chain tomorrow.
And just to quickly wrap up on that, 5 games in, it does make me question, okay, is it just because they are very comfortable situated here where they have played before a lot, or are they strong? I think that question still remains for me. But anyway, Furia here as Gizera, I mean, you were talking about bringing him in and how it could pay dividends in the future, and hey, well, here we are.
I mean, when we watched them play previously, they were called Luna Galaxy. We saw them at PGC. They put up some good numbers. We said the one thing that they're missing is that frag forward potential to go out there and mix up the fight. Gizera is always going to find himself in a forward position. We saw him going head-to-head with multiple teams in a 1v2 scenario. He walks with 5 kills. This is sort of the magic piece that Luna had been sort of building themselves up to become Furia, and now this roster is looking very strong. We saw them come out of the North American region. They absolutely dominated the grand finals there, and they've been playing with confidence that I have not previously seen in their roster going back years. They've always played timid. This is not the same team. That Panther is sort of taken over their souls, and they are playing aggressive every time they have a chance to.
Yeah, I'm happy to see the guys get properly picked up. I mean, I think a lot of the implications could be focused on the idea of an EWC, right, for a Furia here. But 20 points for them is no slouch. Tikula, though, gets themselves 16. Twisted Minds, yet again, another double-digit game. The boys, the triple winners, the back-to-back-to-back for Twisted Minds,
Ooh.
puts them at #1 by 1 point.
Look at that.
There's no wins yet, but ultra consistency comes out for Twisted Minds.
I mean, to be in that spot without a win is pretty impressive, right? So, like, that's to speak to their consistency, back-to-back-to-back, looking for another one and looking like it's definitely a possibility. The big surprise for me today, and I hate to say this, but it's true, is Taikule has been absolutely phenomenal, unexpectedly phenomenal.
Yep. Can only agree. Can only agree. It's not just being able to get into some of the lowest late games, obviously sat at their most placement points throughout the day so far, but also getting the kills as well. Batulins, #1. Not bad, mate. Yeah. Yeah, okay, no words. No words just yet from Batulins.
No words, but his smug little smile and shrug says a lot, right? And also the fact that they're coming in, that could have been a heartbreaker steal, losing that chicken dinner in the last game.
Yeah.
But the attitude these guys are coming in with, they're like, that's fine. Listen, man, even losing that, we're still a #1.
Well,
we're just twisted.
I know. Without him saying anything, I know exactly why there's no words.
Why is there no words?
Job's not done.
Job's not done.
Job's not done.
Job's not done.
And they know it here on the international stage. They know that there's always the potential for big threats tomorrow.
Yep.
That's, of course, a looming factor that does exist. And it's very clear that if you've got a Taikula and a new Happy looking like this, Day Trade is also performing pretty well. There are definitely external threats that maybe some of the big teams didn't quite necessarily think about coming into the day.
I mean, I think the other side of that leaderboard problem is that we're seeing some other teams, 4AM, GPT, 6 points. They're averaging almost 1 kill per game.
It's a disaster.
It's an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
Gen G, another GPT team, barely breaking past 14. We're seeing a lot of these teams, Bestia, not getting up over that number. And we said teams have to come out, if you are a struggle team or a chase team, strong day one. And to see teams that are short of 15 points going into game 6 is actually pretty shocking.
I'll harp on it even more. For a team like 4AM, obviously there's always questions around their GPT status and stuff like that. And 6 points in these games, there has to be a resurgence in the next game. There has to be a better day in their second group stage, because it can't be this way that they underperform.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point where it becomes unacceptable, right? You have to look at it and go, what? There's just, this isn't working. We've changed the roster. We keep making, like, what is not working? Because the fact of the matter is 6 kills. Some of the players with under 150 ADR is absolutely abysmal. So hopefully they can pull something together, maybe figure it out tonight when they come back. But I am shocked by some of our bottom performers. T1 is a team that I have been very pleased with watching today. They've been in good positions. They've played aggressive. They haven't sort of had things go their way. We saw that shift move away from them in the last match and kind of put them in a tough position.
Yeah.
But I feel like they've been great as a recovery team so far.
Definitely more pep in their step compared to the last weeks of BWS. That was not easy to watch for a T1 fan, I think is fair to say.
Also, let's talk about Na'Vi 17 real quick. They went through 4 phases of hot drop last time.
Yeah, they did. We might get more. We're on the way. Let's get to Miramar. One final game here for groups A and B. Casters, take it away.
Twisted at the top. Such things are inevitable. But, I mean, big games coming up specifically for whenever we look at Fury. That was a squad that is kind of taking Americas by storm.
Yeah, man. This is a team that, talking to you guys, obviously watching the games, a lot of hype coming out for this Furia squad. Formerly El Proyecto, but got picked up. It's awesome
Formerly.
Formerly,
Look, it's Americas.
We
have
could,
how many Falcons has had like 56,000?
You
Well,
guys,
no, technically they're not.
You guys need to chill on the teams, okay?
Look, money be money, bro.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I know, totally respect it. I'm really happy Furia picked him up, but I was getting a bit worried, to be honest, Matt. Watching him today, I was like, man, okay, so this fight's happening.
2 hot drops. Well, maybe. Yeah, no, definitely 2 hot drops. So here we go. We've got Skula on one side, and then we have T1 on the other, and of course, Na'Vi and 17 also lined up against each other. I don't really fault Takula for kind of being a bit friskier with the way that they've been playing today.
Why not?
Test yourself.
You're good to go. Well, this is not good to go for 17. Yes!
Yes!
Do it. No! Go pick it up and do it again.
Disappointment. But still, okay, you still got it at the end. Oh, Little Ghost getting some retaliation back, though. So, it's a bit messy, but in a fun way that hot drops can often be.
The Saiga so good in situations like this, and an ump. It's a nice setup for Little Ghost there.
Shotgun's so hot right now.
Yeah, they are. It's been cool to see that, like, these hot drops have often come down to SMGs and shotguns.
This is all important with hot drops, but we also needed to mention that there's like, this is a very
Oh,
southern
boy.
circle with like, I don't know what, 30% of it water?
Yeah, this one,
Uh,
there's a world where this goes Partona. It's
there,
probably not deep enough,
why did
but,
you have to say it? You
well,
cast or curse are fun.
I've seen them in there, so.
Both hot drops are a bit chill right now, though, so that's why we're kind of taking a quick second to look at the
Whoa.
circle. Navi and what's going on with 17 looks like it could be brewing a bit more. Like Hakatori is kind of like the key point in what we're looking at with a lot of the movement, since he's the closest to what's going on with 17. T1, Taikula has separated a bit more into a north-south situation around Chumasera, but also we do have Orca that's kind of close to it as well.
Yeah, this is quite interesting, and I do want to say props to Taikula for going for this hot drop, because you've been having a tremendous day, and so you're basically into the finals
Yeah.
most likely, right? So if you got a team who's messing with your drops, now's the time where you can really commit and really go for the fight and try to bully them out. I don't expect T1 to let up on it, though. Historically, Sonic's teams, as a head coach, he doesn't really give up these spots easily. You really have to bully them away, and I mean like beat them like 3 days in a row to get them to get out of it. But
Pretty much, if you stay here, you won't qualify.
yeah.
Is the threat?
Oh, they'll drag you down with them.
Okay, so Xiaowu, not sitting the best, doesn't even have a helmet. Shotgun's coming up, but he's got himself the Uzi. He's hearing a lot of footsteps. Feeding that back over. Hakatori's still playing around the apartments right now. Looks like the push coming out. So it's pretty much duos going after the solos on both sides. Very, very close to each other.
Xiao he knows where everybody is.
He
on
does.
Navi.
Okay, here it comes. How risky is it going to be?
Oh my god, oh my god.
Oh, I love the patience on it, but that does mean the fact that means that Navi could get some vision on what's going on. 7-7 does show himself.
Oh.
And does force away. I mean, I feel like maybe they're trying to protect him. He doesn't have a lot to work with.
I thought he was going to maybe go out the window. Oh, maybe they knew he was there to begin with. That's why he's being patient.
One! That chair is putting in a ton of work. It's buying him so much survivability. Tries to get the shots in between. Fairest having a big day. Is going to get dropped as well. That is going to be a beautiful set of plays coming from Xiaowu.
Oh, the jump. The jump peak mid-air spray with the micro Uzi while he was running out of bullets too. Absolutely incredible from Xiaowu. The patience pays off. 7-7 trying to find the last member. Up the stairs he goes. Navi just going to have to hunker down and try to wait this out. The real question is 17 is, yeah, I was going to say, you need to be really smart about this.
It's Hakatori, man. This guy, he can absolutely decimate a squad by himself. So, now resetting back, slowing back down the pace. They know where he is, and he can hear the footsteps coming for him. Leans into the shotgun to the start. Doesn't want to bite off too much yet. So instead, just holding the angle, saying, okay, if you come for me, I'm going to punish you for it. I mean, it's a double barrel, too. So here it comes. You can see the markers down below getting closer by the moment.
And the thing with this angle is it gives him the time to take the shots and then fall back and potentially reload or swap guns, where he's going to be safe to essentially isolate the first player down. Next player comes up, he's going to be able to back off if they do, push up those stairs like that. But 17 is being rather patient. I mean, if I'm them, I'm out looking for more stuns and frags and mollies, just holding the line here and letting our solo player. Yeah, well,
Bye, T5.
This is T5's just gonna say, okay, you guys are fighting still. That's cool.
Neither one of these squads in all of the hot drops has really taken a dominant position from the other one on the leaderboard, right? So we're at 22 points to 27 points. That's not like I have won a lot out of doing this. If anything, they're just both kind of dragging each other down. And technically, it's Navi.
And I mean, you got to think about it this way too. This is just setting the stage for the rest of the year as well, right?
Yeah.
Like these two teams are going to be expecting to see each other at most of the international events, and as the year goes on, like these spots and having control of them is more and more important. So now you're grouping up for this push. It's just, can Hakatori hack it? Is he going to get this done?
I love that, by the way.
Thank you.
This is respect. You can see that they do not want to bite off too much. They don't want to risk giving Hakatori too much. They know that this guy is a threat. And so instead, now that they're up at the top, they're playing it slow. They can potentially go for the trades. They have to have an idea on which side he's going to be playing from. So here comes a step in. Shotgun's off the start of it. Not really getting too much just quite yet. And there you go. 17 Gaming pick it up, and there's the bullets of we win. We win.
The victory spray.
Victory screech.
The way they approach that. Oh yeah. Send out some of those emotes. Kick them out. Kick them out. Kick them out of Picado. But the way they approached that was really, really smart, because once they got up the stairs, they made it so it was really hard for... You gotta be kidding me. He threw the crowbar?
I mean... Do what you
Look
gotta
at this.
do.
Beautiful. That is what the micro Uzi was meant for.
Okay, so that calmed down. Yes, also Taikula and T1 did get separated. T1 is presently down to the south, and Daytrade. So it's time to talk about the Circle and T1, what's going on with Daytrade as well. Daytrade's kind of separated out. I mean, I don't think that there's going to be too much more happens out of this other than potentially Belmoth, where we see this kind of being set up. He's just kind of forced into the rocks. Tigger can't support. He's not even on the main section of land for Miramar.
Yeah, this is pretty challenging, though, to get a grenade down there. It would have to be so well cooked for Heather to get one to land. So not much you can do other than to try to find other angles. And Belmoth, might be okay with that, because at least potentially maybe one of his teammates could get some sight lines on a T1. So T1 kind of aware of that. That's why they're just poking and prodding right now, just seeing if maybe they can catch him out of place. The bad news for Belmoth is you're stuck here until either T1 leaves or you die. Or unless something crazy happens and a third party shows up. Like those are kind of your only options.
So with Takula getting a kill, they're back into first place, tied up for the time being. So this has been very back and forth with them. Curious to see how it continues to develop. T1 has to be careful, as they also do have Twisted that's getting pretty close to him. Most of our teams have already kind of settled in around Resort, assuming that's going to go that way, but I don't know. We could get a Partona, but we could also get a bait-and-switch Los Leones ending.
I'd be okay with that, too. I'm okay. I love Los Leones finishes. I want to see Twisted Minds just rampage through a city again, so I'd be totally fine with another city finish with the way that they handle themselves in those fights. It's just so good. Taikula, what else can you say? I mean, they have had some just tremendous moments today. What a performance they're putting on here in Shanghai.
Well, I mean, their firefighting has been phenomenal, and it's just been pretty to watch whenever they get into a firefight. But they're getting into their positions by smartly reading the terrain and really ambushing teams. And it feels like they're fragging out, but they're fragging out because they're playing the game so well on a heady basis as well.
Yeah, it's to add on to what you're saying is that they're using the terrain in a couple different ways. They're not just peeking over it. They're doing a great job with that. But it's that they're setting up for another player to come and take a flank or find another angle, and they're not over-peeking, they're not over-aggressing, they're not, if they take some damage, they back off to set up for another player. Like, it's really good coordination as well, so all those things looking good. Oh, no Los Leones, no Partona, just Resort.
Oh, I'm so sad. We get to Resort. Still fun, and also these hillsides are pretty cool as well. I mean, where you've got all the sprinklers, all that other cool stuff. So, 17 going to be doing an emergency pickup. You can see that this is pretty compressed. We still have a lot of water in play. So, T is going to have to be dealing with potentially Twisted Minds, who's probably going to go for a wider wrap. I wouldn't be surprised if they go all the way over to the east. T1's still going to have to contend up with Daytrade. Megapod went with a very long wrap and kind of circled around everything. You can see that 4 Angry Men also trying to do a bit more of a regroup, as everything to the east of them is pretty open.
Whoa, T1 drove down into this. Tigger doing some serious damage. Finally, E-End able to take him down. Now he's got Belmoth out in the open. He's got him down. Nicely done here by E-End, but T1 suffering some damage along the way.
I mean, the way E-End played around the car itself and was using the windows and specifically the metal sections in between to kind of eat bullets, that was just very, very cleanly played for him. Heather is down a bit further ahead, but I don't think the Begapod is going to see him. Yeah, I think everything should be fine.
Well, they might have heard these shots. It's just that you got to kind of get into the circle, because if you get stuck anywhere near that bridge, it can become really dire. The problem is you're going to be driving through Daytrade. Just Tanadol, though.
Oh, 17. Okay, looks like they get those compounds. They just snuck right through everything, so emergency pickup pays off.
They shoot people out of the air. They don't get shot out of the air. That's not how these things go. They are just
I play PUBG. I feel it happens pretty equally to me both ways.
No,
but
it does.
17, I get your joke. I just
know.
had you just gave me a flashback to like this moment where I like in a game shot somebody as they were taking the emergency pickup, and then took an emergency pickup myself, and then got shot before I touched down. So I was like, oh, like I was like, please no. I got PTSD from it.
That's the old PUBG justice, as my friends and I call it, is when you do something stupid and it pays off, and then somebody else does it right back to you.
PUBG karma is strong.
It is absolutely strong team with a lot of good karma. It's Twisted Minds. They have secured the southern end of Los Leones. Fury on the mountains to their east, and then you got Falcons just to the south in the Warehouse District. New Happy kind of settling up in some of the shanty towns above the resort. 4 a.m. solidified a position because they took out a New Happy player. And things looking like they're going to slow down for now. There's enough playable stuff left in this circle that everybody can just kind of chill where they're mostly at, other than T1 is a bit outside. They're the only ones who have to make a move because they had to recover from that fight with Day Trade.
And yeah, I mean, they have a couple of pathing options. They could bump into... They're having a good time. You can always tell.
Hey.
Oh, well,
It's totally
gonna
just
be
us, guys.
Genji, yep.
Oh, no. Oh, no,
Gonna have to stop off on this one.
Type has hit some nasty shots.
And it looks like he's going to hit enough to make it painful. Instead, now Ian's going to get a nice flanked position around this. He has to be careful that he doesn't overextend because here comes the reinforcements. Vehicles coming down the hillside, both sides. Going to see if he can spot out Tosi as he jumps out of the vehicle. Doesn't connect. So now that means Ian is in a pretty dangerous spot. He's just going to go through the car, peek back over, and keep shifting between them, just trying to bounce it all around. Ian does go down. Americano picks him up.
Americano at 1 HP, though, but it doesn't matter. Orca's here. He's backing him up. Types is running him down from behind. He doesn't even have a red dot on that barrel. Doesn't need it. Point blank range has got Orca.
I didn't know that blowing the horn like that was the universal sign to play Ring Around
That's
the
right.
Rosie. Okay, so a couple of shifts in, Type, and now in some trouble because Taikula, of course Taikula is there. There's gunfighting to be had, and they want the kills. Already sitting at 1. See if they can pick up a bit more. Type having to recess down. Americano's going to spot that. He wants to get Heather back up. But Falcons now also joining the fight. As here comes Spaceman just rolling through. Is Game 6 scrims? What's going on here?
It feels like it. Yeah, especially for the teams at the top of the leaderboard. You know you're sitting pretty, so you can start harassing some of these other teams. I like this from Taikula to try to go after T1. They're going to be one of those teams that you're contesting drop spots with. You might as well get involved with this fight, see what the heck happens. At the very worst, you're going to ruin T1's day. Even though they're sitting okay, for Gen G, it has been a bit of a struggle today. They're down to 14th. They're below Bagel Pa by a point. Now the mortar is starting to come through. I suspect that's Tiggleton. Or somebody from...
Is it? I couldn't tell. It almost looked like it was coming from Taikula.
Could be. There's a couple teams who are in range.
Yeah, I think it's probably... Yeah, I know it is Falcons. Tiggleton is now hopped on the mortar.
Yep.
So...
Who else?
Yeah. I mean, it's not the biggest shock. It's kind of the biggest shock that it didn't hit somebody.
What a nerd.
Nerd.
He's doing geometry.
Yeah, you're nicknamed after geometry. Tickleometry. Ah, what a nerd. Playing your video games.
I love to make fun of Tig. All right. Type. Gonna let loose with some stuns. That's all he has left for Util, and he just gets shot in the back.
Dude, I love the energy that they're bringing, though. Taikula feels it.
They're so loud, dude. It's so good. They've also have T1 right in front of them on the stage, so T1 can probably hear that.
Subtle mind games, right?
Yeah, very subtle.
Extremely subtle mind games. 17 has a shack that they're presently living out of. I mean, take what you can get. They got the moral victory in Picado, and they have a couple of kills stacked on them as well. Taikula has some troubles of their own that they're going to have to deal with. We're getting flashbacks to the start. Are we getting a full breakdown of all of the hot drops today?
We're going to run through 17 just destroying. I love the desk pound there too.
Oh, production! I love you for this.
This is nice. I can enjoy this. Let's just take this in. This is a it was the sight, not the crowbar, but whatever.
I just look at how
this is my favorite.
Like there's so many cool plays in these series.
Yeah.
Like I know hot drops are hard to like they can mess up your game and do anything else like that. but just the showcase of skill and the hot drops from both sides has been spectacular.
The creativity
Yeah.
that you see at this stage of PUBG esports is so fun, dude. I mean, I think I talked about it earlier, but when Shrimsy threw that gas can over the school fence, it shot it out of the air.
I blew out. I was co-casting with guys.
Yeah.
It blew out my mic. I got so
that
excited.
was like, I was like, this is what I love.
Am
about
I the
this game.
problem? Do I just break mics? Apparently.
You've got a talent, I guess. Is
Too
that your
loud.
superpower?
Yeah.
You're the crappiest X-Men that ever existed.
You call me Banshee right now?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we're making fun of
Tiggleton.
him.
There you go. The nerddom pays off. Lines in. Drops it again. That second one, Tig. What you got? Oh, he's hopping in vehicles. They got goals, man.
They gotta
They
run
want
him
to go
down.
after this. They already have two members that are very, very close. They were prepped for this when they were like, no, we know we can get it. BB now trying to throw out some nades, slow down the potential push and the threats that are coming. Falcons want some more kills, but they don't want to overextend. Kickstart did get knocked. So inside of this one, they've got to be cautious, at least trying to flush out what's going on in front of him. Tiggleton wants what he created.
This is so good. I mean, the timing there was an emergency pickup being attempted. Tig gonna find the flush out in the open. He's got another
out
from
of the car.
car. Woohoo!
Give it to me. What is going on today? We are seeing so many cool plays.
That was so good. I love the confidence from the Falcons as well. They're gonna get out with their knock teammate in the vehicle. This is just so well drawn up. You can't do it much better than that. I mean, the only way you could have is if you don't take a knock. Beautiful.
I mean, there you go. This is the expectations people have for Falcons when they talk about him. Trying to assault back up near the top of the leaderboard. They still have a climb to go chasing after the lead that's been set up from Twisted and Taikula. But with Taikula now out,
Yep.
that means the fact that there is a climb potential. But let's not forget Twisted Minds.
Yeah, there's worlds where maybe Falcons ends up as the top team of the day if they have a really just solid end game.
I mean, even
Find some
Daytrade could be
kills.
there.
Even Daytrade. They're down to one
It's a lot
player,
harder.
but it's a lot.
They have to kill a lot of people as a solo, but it could happen. The way today's been going, it could happen.
That's a good point, man. We've had some crazy finishes, like where I think one team is dead and they just kind of cling to life for a bit longer, and then
I feel
wild
bad
stuff
for our
happens.
spectators, man. They're just like, oh, so we're just going to see a three.
Posters.
Oh,
Trouble.
Tiggleton manages to survive it, though. Looks like the Falcons don't want to run it.
No.
Car flips. That's going to be easy shots for Poza, but Tig, yet again, makes a big play for his squad when he needs to. H1 down, Tig down. That means it's going to be Kickstart and Shrimsy. They've been buying a lot of cool plays so far, but this could be a problem.
Yeah, this is out in the blue, too, to make matters worse, and it's actually T5 from quite far away, a good 400, 500 meters, getting involved, doing some damage to Furia, who's trying to reposition. You got Shrimsy underneath him, though. He could find a decent angle here. With how spread out Furia is, I mean, Guizera's a mile away. He's across the road, down a hill, out in the open. Haven lets loose with the grenade, but doesn't get knocked.
That is...
Oh, and he found the knock on H-Win.
Usually Shrimsy gets those. I mean, there's a lot going on around him, so with that knock, more pressure mounting on Shrimsy's position. He's been revealed. Gizera now coming in for reinforcements. Shrimsy can make the hero play for his teams, at least taking the shots out onto Haven, has now forced Furia to slow down a bit and allowed a bit more of a reset coming up for Falcons.
Man, Kick able to get the res up there. Nice work by him up on top of the hill. Although they have to use a lot of smokes. And what in the world is going on here in the cave tunnels?
Sure. That's just today in a nutshell.
What?
I love it. Mime down for the time being. Bestia trying to defend in. They want to shoot over the shoulder, deny Twisted any ability to creep moving forward. Falcons did manage to separate. Shrimsy did go down at the cost for it, but Falcons did manage to make it down the hillside directly on top of what we're going to be seeing go on with Twisted Minds.
Look at the staggered setup of these foldable shields. This gives them the ability to kind of fall back a little bit, set up some different options for keeping their opponents guessing where they're going to be hiding, where they're going to be going for the res, where those grenades need to be placed, things like that. Pretty cute little setup that they've got going there for Bestia. Twisted Minds, well, I mean, they got their knock. They got the Panzer kill. Hey, emergency pickup. Kind of not good anymore, but it's a neat little find.
I'm scared of that hallway. That's like a full Daredevil hallway scene.
Oh, dude,
you do not want to get in. Oh, yes. Give me the...
Show it
give me
again. Dude, this is crazy good. And then the second one. The second one hit too.
Yep. Okay, so lay of the land right now. Dead center, we've got what we're looking at with Bestia and Twisted. Falcons are kind of up on top of it, so you can see them dancing around. Furia, we saw just one moment ago. New Happy's come into the northwest. TE in the due west. 4 Angry Men have themselves that compound that they're going to be playing to the south. T5 backs up against the wall.
This is such a cool setup that Bestia's got going. If Twisted pushes in here, I doubt they will because of the circle situation, but there's also the AWM for DraftKings.
And look at the cars around the backside of it, too, so that way they even have some cover whenever they step out on this angle.
They are preparing for the zombie apocalypse here.
They are fortified. Like, that's not necessarily the best place to always play from, but they have made that. They've turned it around. That is a complete house flip from fixer-upper into full-scale mansion.
Yeah, that's a cool setup they've got going. Absolutely love to see it. Bagel Pot underneath Furia. Furia, though, doesn't really seem too keen to get very aggressive. Akan, there was maybe a moment there where he was stepping out into the open that if he got peeked, he might have been dead. Guizera being patient, but Akan looks like he's in the shack next to the house. Let's see if Bagel Pot is going to be able to kind of react to this, be aware of Furia's position, but Furia not keen to take the fight just yet, want to play better safe than sorry. They want more points. They want to get really confirmed and safe going into that grand finals.
Well, it's going to be a Khan that's creeping up close to Furia. You just saw that man can blow up a squad by himself. Can he do it again? Takes a face full of lead, has to step away. Manages to survive, though. Does manage to get separation away from Gizera, now feeding that information back over to the rest of Begopa. T5 can't make a move. Blue Zone going to be on top of him in just 1 second. All of these squads kind of caught up over here. New Happy is trying to flank around, go up on top of everything, kind of move along the position directly on top of where Twisted is. So they're using the distraction. What's going to be going over here to buy a bit more space? T5 using that opportunity. They're going to be sending it in. Looks like they might be in lines where Falcons is going to be defended up at. Falcons going to be taking a couple of shots in, but not too scary just quite yet. Finally going to get Rusted Jr. Ranger's going to go down as well. Paz and Pong in some trouble. Falcons playing off the back foot in defense, but it's going to be H-Win. Looks like he's in some trouble, narrowly managing to survive.
Yeah, they get the wipe, though. That's huge for Falcons, continuing to just be unbelievable with 2 players alive. I mean, we saw them win on Tego. Who knows? Maybe they can get it done here in our final game. Haven is going to end up falling to 2 Heart as this battle is slow but steady. Bagel Pod does lose a Khan, their anchor player in the long run, but they're going to continue on, march forward as 3. Furia up on the hill, but look what they got in front of them. It is sheer cliff. So going down there, yes, of course, you could pull the parachute, but there's going to be a lot of teams watching you when you do it. Is that level 3 gear? Yeah, and it's a P90 for Zakraken.
Ooh, man, New Happy feels bad about that one.
That was supposed to be our crate.
I wanted that. And now you've got high ground and the crate weapon. I'm just going to have to kill you to take it back. There is a world where we could be potentially watching the brewing of a med battle ending with the multi-level situation. If this continues to step around the north.
Dude, I haven't seen one of those in a while.
It could stay stacked over here. So we can see a lot of teams now starting to assign control over the top while we still have Bestie and Twisted that are going to be down below it. I could be down.
I haven't seen one in a while. The last one I think I saw was right here on this map, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's been a while for me too, but those are actually super fun because they almost never happen, and when they do, they're wild. We'll have to see. There's a decent chance that the circle does that.
10 seconds.
Bagel Pot setting up the defenses themselves. Oh, 2 Heart, 2 Heart. You got to hit those shots. There you go.
Okay, getting some more control over the territory. Furia in some trouble. Zakraken's got to move down, and oh, we moved to the south with the circle. Why don't you love me, circle? I mean, still a chance. Still a chance.
It could happen, but it's pretty unlikely now.
Yeah.
Let's see. 16 just keeping his eyes towards where Furia was.
So, the thing about, though, that really sucks about this is Twisted, New Happy, Falcons, Furia, Begapa all have to move into the circle now, and it's kind of rocks and a field.
That's not ideal.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that. Not the best real estate to be playing around as a Kraken finds another enemy and he knows he is surrounded.
Oh, DraftKings starting to hit with the AWM. That's what you love to see. What's going to be curious about this for me is what does Twisted do and what is Bestia's plan? Like if they can hold the line there at their zombie, fort that they've set up. And then if they, because likely that they're going to have to make a move eventually. Not necessarily, but, and when they do, you know, the only thing that they're going to have to be worrying about is like teams underneath them on the hills around the sides. So it's going to be kind of interesting. It is the flush there onto Park Pro.
I just am going to need to see Twisted try to assault that hallway if it happens.
I hope so.
I don't care what else is happening. I please.
Can I run onto the stage and ask Batulins to just do it for us? Take one for the team?
Do it for us, man. Look, I know you're 2 points out of first, but it's group stage. Who cares about first? Think of the memes, bro. Think of the memes.
We'll have to wait and see. Oh, this is not good for Bagel Pod. That situation you're talking about. Okay, well, Bestia's starting to inch their way forward. They want to maybe think about better angles to take. I think Twisted might not have a choice. They might have to just go this way. Molly's at the ready. As, yeah, there was not much hope there for Bagel Pot out in the open like that. Trailer is going to be territory. Oh, never mind. Kick. Just donked by 16.
I mean, high ground straight in, beat it on him. Not a lot that he could have done there. So that means H-Win, birthday boy himself. All right, what present can you get? Because you are inside the circle. Well, no, actually not even quite yet. You still have to leave this building.
Dude, throw a grenade in the window. Do it. Or, you could throw it through the hole in the top. Do it. Do it. He's just going to wait. This is smarter.
Yeah. Oh. All right, Zakraken, new target. Fish in a barrel situation. As you can see, Falcons now down and out. Zakraken on top, and fishing with Dynamite. Bounce.
What a
really
bounce.
hard to hit and work around. Twisted with the new circle popping is going to have to push into Bestia. 4 Angry Men not inside the circle. There is no cover inside of this new circle except for Bestia's positioning.
That's crazy. That position might just earn them a chicken dinner after everything is said and done. You can see the verticality that these teams are having to contest with. Okay, Twisted Minds was able to find another exit out, I think, maybe, or maybe the X-Ray's just playing with my brain.
I don't know. I feel like they're just getting.
They gotta go.
They're getting stalled out. Yeah, we're just getting everything thrown in right now. Blue zone nades might be able to buy you space if you can kind of layer them out and time it properly. See, Twisted, they're wanting to try to push through this, but this is the problem. If you go down there, you're just going to be caught in the thick of a terrible situation. And as these shields just keep getting shifted back, you can see new rock formation time and time again.
You know what? If there are shotguns on the ground, I think I saw one earlier behind where Twisted was. I would grab those, smoke it, and just run in and pray that you can get close enough and pull the trigger before your opponent does. That honestly could be the play.
This is going to be really interesting to specifically see how Batu, of all people, wants to try to navigate this situation. New Happy getting control over the high ground, still trying to take care of Zakraken down below him. TE in some trouble trying to make it in the circle, and it's going to be Zulong that does manage to connect in. Looks like they do at least manage to get into the circle itself. 4 Angry Men are trying to creep forward. Looks like they're trying to get a vehicle set up to maybe buy themselves a bit more space. But New Happy has reign over everything on top. And down below them, Bestia's got control over the low ground and pretty much Hades as it's all on fire and smoking.
Yep, here we go. Here comes the push. Tons of smokes. You have to do what you can to obscure the vision, but there's a Molly on the ground stalling Twisted Minds, letting the blue do some of the work for them potentially.
Mime Way have to walk into it. They don't want to. Molotov now gone. They know that they're going to be walking into a crossfire. There's no option to really play around. Mime doesn't have a lot of vision. He's just going to be playing off of what he can hear, but there's explosions going off all around him. He doesn't know exactly. I love that Batulins is crawling right now. He's trying to maneuver in underneath of it. And now Mime's going to start hearing the footsteps coming through. Is he just going to let the lead come out? Now he's just going to run in, jumps right into all of them. Twisted just absolutely dismantles this. The cost is 2 down. They're still trying to creep forward. Everybody is just trying to crawl forward. Bestia does get eliminated. Blue Zone nade lands down on top of this. Twisted has to get out.
Oh, what a throw from Godby. He hears the fight. He knows where they're at, and the Blue Zone grenades are perfect. They did so much damage. Mutually assured destruction. The Expendables trying to find some kills on the exit. Oh, Zakraken just got obliterated by a tongue move.
He was trying to go for a cheeky shift. If he'd gotten it, it would have been pretty cool. But Expendables now going to start getting picked apart. Too many angles to work from. 4 Angry Men have control over 2 different angles. So really, it's going to be about the pinch. Twisted, walking forward, 2v1. But it is example. A Tongmu on one side of it has to juke around. It is going to be the 4 Angry Men picking up the victory on an absolutely crazy ending.
Yeah, a quiet day for the most part from 4 a.m., but they come through with a chicken dinner. That's very, very important for them. And what a day. What a day we had. What a final circle there.
I love everything about today.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a really good day. That fight in the cave was so wild.
I mean, we've seen smart plays. We've seen just crazy aggression. We've seen just so many cool stacks. Hot drops galore. If this is this year of PUBG, my body is ready. I want all of it.
Just yes, please. That was some great stuff today. So many great plays, smart plays.
That has to suck for Bestia too. They'd spent so much time fortifying that, shifting, trying to make a lot of cool stuff happen, and then to lose it.
Well, I think Mime just got a little overeager there, right? Like he was holding that angle, and it's hard to tell when you're that close and that tied up, but yeah.
Okay, well, our analysts are going to want to dive into that one, so we'll go ahead and toss it over to Toffees and Caloris to give us a breakdown on the battle in the cave.
Wait a minute, 4AM is in this lobby.
Right. And what may be the most extreme example of a reverse caster curse.
That is true.
We stood up here and we're like, 4AM's not doing good enough. They've got to make something happen. That's never going to happen. And then here they come out and they get this victory. You know, they held a good spot. They locked down an exit and they let sort of Twisted Minds and Bestia fight it out. And then they came in for the cleanup. It was good.
Do you want me to give the pedantic, wistful, melancholy British version of what happened, though?
Yes.
In a 1 meter